And just in those couple of days, the world has gone absolutely crazy. Looks like I'll be in Laos for, I've only been here 2.5 weeks of my 3-month stay. I'm intending to go back at the end of May, but the news I've just received now, Australia's now in lockdown, or anybody flying into the country is in self-imposed isolation, which begs the question, once you get off the airport, how do you get from the airport to your home? You are not in isolation. And oh, thank you Neenee. Look what my darling wife has just brought me. I've got the best wife ever. Woo. Yeah, how does that lockdown, that self-isolation work? Do they whisk you out a back door at the airport into a special vehicle that drops you off at your home away from anybody? My normal routine would be coming through immigration, through customs, bring you a little bit closer, walking out through the airport, down the stairs, escalators, onto the city train. Takes you into central Sydney. Change at Central, the biggest train station in Australia, onto the Newcastle line and all the way up to Newcastle, another 2-hour trip. Definitely not isolated. So I can see other scenarios are being picked up at the airport and that, I guess, but you are still not in isolation. You are still in contact with other people. You're breathing the air, walking from the airport out to the car park. I don't know, but I will just stay here until things calm down. I think we'll be in touch with work. You guys at work, hope everything's well there, and I will most certainly be in touch with you. What the hell is going on, hey? Been putting off doing this video, an update on what Laos is like during this coronavirus. I've been here 2.5 weeks now. I wanted to leave it a little bit longer, really get a good vibe for the place, but with the amount of questions that I've been getting of recently, and just the way the world has gone absolutely batshit crazy at the moment, I just thought I'd get this video out now and let you guys know what it is like on the ground here in Vientiane, Laos. I wanted to have a bit more time here, give you guys a good bit of info on what I'm seeing happening here, but nothing is happening. People are getting on with their lives. I'm not saying that in a way that you should be getting on with your lives. It is different here. People have got bigger things to be worried about here in Laos. You know, I go to the markets every morning. There is no more face masks at the markets than any other particular time that I've been here, and it is a large crowded area. There are thousands of people there each morning. The number one question I get from people is, why are there no cases reported here? I don't know. I do not know. The last few government meetings I haven't been invited to, so please stop asking me why I don't know why the government isn't telling the rest of the world. In a country like this, I guess if you're not really testing for cases, you're not going to be able to report cases. To think there is no cases here, you'd be kidding yourself, yes. But something Neenee pointed out to me this morning, a conversation. If it was here, you would hear about it. You would hear people talking about it, especially on social media. Laos has a very young population, in contrast to other countries such as Italy, who has a very elderly population. Again, I am not saying there is no cases here. What I am saying is, if there were, these young people would be talking about it on Facebook. They the internet Facebook. Social media isn't like China. It is not controlled here. So I question, why are we not hearing about it on Facebook? Are the symptoms weaker here? You know, people just getting on with their life. A lot of people get sick, they don't go to hospital here. Are they just brushing off the death of an elderly person as something else? You know, but it keeps coming back to, if people thought it was the virus, it would be discussed on Facebook. A lot, you know, nearly a quarter of the country's population is situated in Vientiane, and if people were dying, a lot of those people are connected by social media, and it would just blow up. That's not happening. You know, the amount of people Neenee is connected to through mutual friends, you would certainly hear of it here. It's just not happening, guys. You may be able to pick a hole in that somewhere, but you know, it's one thing for a government to deny something, but for the whole population to be in on it and not talking about it, that's what's got me. That's what really stands out to me, you know, which not convinces me, but makes me think, well, is there some reason it isn't taking a hold here like it has other countries? Why aren't we noticing it? And like I said, if you know a little bit about the virus and what they've learnt, the younger population around the world isn't catching it as much as the elderly are, and Laos being a very young country as far as their the demographics, the age of the people here, maybe it's just not taking hold. Now, but in saying all that, guys, the vibe, it's no different. It's business as usual. But yeah, it's this is just an update on what I am seeing here. Business at the restaurant is down. It is slower. It's slower here. Some of the restaurants in town, in the tourist areas, they're still going like normal. There are still a lot of tourists here, and they don't seem to have died. Our restaurant is more of a local restaurant. You very rarely see tourists here. You know, we are out in Non Batong, out in one of the villages, or a suburb. Families come here, local families and things like that. Again, it comes back to the virus. You know, they're just being careful. People are aware of it, but they're still getting on with their life. They're just not doing unnecessary things, like Neenee and myself. We haven't been out to dinner for well, nearly a week now. You know, we've just been staying at home, cooking, things like that. Everybody is mindful of it, but they're not letting it affect their life like I am reading on and seeing on social media, with people being absolutely greedy assholes, stocking up on the amount of stuff they will never friggin' use, and denying it to the people that absolutely will need it, you know, especially the elderly and that. The government is still putting restrictions on things. There will be no major gatherings. They've even asked people to postpone or cancel altogether any weddings of large gatherings. And if you're thinking, well, why weddings? Well, most Lao weddings are big gatherings. If you don't know what they're like, check out this video, plug in a video, yep. But yeah, we're booked in up at Luang Prabang for 4 nights for Neenee Lao, which is Lao New Year, and most of the celebrations on there is not happening now. You know, there will be no parade, the massive parade, no Miss Lao New Year. It'll only be small events, and it wasn't actually mentioned about the water fights and things like that, but they did say unnecessary gatherings. So but how do you police walking past shooting somebody with a water gun? You know, put soapy water in the gun, it's going to kill two birds with one stone. Another reason maybe why we have not seen it take off here yet is the Lao government, as close as they are to China as far as geographical location and their ties, political ties, the Lao government was one of the first countries to shut down Chinese flights into the country. So the government is still putting a lot of... Sorry guys, I can't stop eating. I've got to eat the chips before they go cold. So they are putting restrictions in. There's just no cases reported. And I know a lot of you are going, yeah, right, reported. Well, I've said what I will about that, and if there were cases here, please let me know. Let me know where you're getting your information from. I'd like to find out so and let other people know. Anybody wanting to keep up to date with what is going on around here, I'm usually posting to my Now and Lao Facebook page. You'll find the link in the description below to all of my videos, my Facebook page, and anything that the Laotian Times post or anything else I see that's worth sharing, I usually do to my page. And saying all that, I have a couple travelling from South Africa. Tomorrow they're coming to the restaurant, so I'm not sure yet. See how they feel about it. I will ask them, but may get their thoughts on what it is like in South Africa at the moment, what it was like getting into this country. Has it upset their travel plans? Because I do know they plan on going to Thailand also. So, you know, there's a few, you know, usually when I'm over here, me and Neenee will do at least one trip into Thailand to go shopping. Anything like that now, you know, we're not going to do. We had plans of going up to, we're still going up to Luang Prabang for Pimai, but we had a plan on going up further north through Nong Kior and then cross east and into Sapa, Vietnam. We're not going to be going out of the country, you know, because of lockdown and things like that. We don't want to be caught outside of Laos. My biggest concern was getting over here. Before flying into the country, you know, things were just starting to ramp up and I was getting a bit antsy about whether I would be allowed into the country or even whether I'd be allowed out of the country. But once I'm here now, this is where I want to be, guys. You know, I would rather be here with these people and their attitude about the virus compared to the hysteria that's going on back home. I know a lot of people aren't overreacting, but there is some people who are absolutely going batshit crazy and not really putting much thought into how their batshit craziness is affecting others. Even though the hospital and the medical system is not the greatest in the world here by a long shot, this is where I'd rather be, alongside my wife and knowing how she is getting along, rather being in Australia where we do have a good healthcare system that can take care of the majority of the people over there, rather than if it was to afflict the people hard here. I would rather be here and alongside my wife while this is going on. Now, fingers crossed we're going to be safe here. So that's just my thoughts and views and what I'm seeing here in Laos. If there's anybody out there in Laos who would like to add to this, for sure go for it in the comments. That's just what I'm seeing in Laos, how the vibe is. People are just getting on with their life. Seriously, if you flew into this country not knowing there was a virus, you wouldn't think there was anything up. That's what I mean. Nothing has sort of changed, except for me having the knowledge of knowing how busy the restaurants and that should be at this time. The local restaurants, they've just died a little bit. a week ago, not even a week ago, I was at Tyson's Kitchen. It seemed busier than normal, you know. Hasn't stopped many tourists at all. I guess they'd already had their flights booked, their holidays were in progress. They were already out of the country. I guess it was the tourism trade will start to slow down the longer this thing goes on. All you can do is just sit back, see what happens, and see what happens here. Yeah, it's just like everybody's holding their breath, just waiting for that first acknowledgement of a case here. But as I said, and I'll say it again, it has not been reported by the government, and it has not been reported by the people, and the people aren't controlled by the government like they are in China. If it's here, it will be seen on social media. Neenee and her family, all her friends would be aware of it. Nobody is aware of it. That's all I got. That's all I got. So you can say what you want. I don't care. You know, I am just reporting on what I see and what I hear and what, you know, I think is going on here, you know, but I'm not going to get into the political side of it. All I will say is, if the government was keeping that information under wraps, why haven't the people reported about it on social media? My biggest question is why it isn't here. That is what I don't understand. I'm not complaining, no. So that is the vibe and the feel about the place. You guys got any questions? Fire them at me. Hit me up. I'll do a follow-up video to this if it's worthy of a video. The vibe with me is I'm more confused than anything, because I don't, you know, the rest of the world, you know, it is just snowballing, you know, day by day. Like I said, 2 days ago, I think the US was at 1,700 cases. 2 days later, it's 3,000. Australia's just gone over 250, where 2 days ago it was just in 123 or something like that. So, you know, we don't want it here, not with our medical system here, you know. Maybe it is here, people just haven't started falling sick yet because of the incubation period. Again, how can you report on something if you're not testing for it? Don't know. If there's any expats out there, or people or Lao who know where they are testing in Vientiane, drop us a line, let us know, send me a message on Facebook, because it would be the right thing to go and get tested. If you test positive, you can isolate yourself, you know what I mean, which prevents it from snowballing like it is in other countries, rather than walking around with the virus, no symptoms, contaminating other people. So that's my thoughts, guys. I'm sure I've probably left things out that you're wondering. The noise has just started, the blow all the leaves off the paths of the restaurant. They're starting to clean up, ready for just another day at the restaurant. Leave yous with that, guys. Like I said, any questions, hit us up and I'll do a follow-up video for you. Hope you do.